Hi, this is Gracie and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss tips for savings, how to create budgets, investments, and basically be on our journey to a debt-free life. I'm sure you've clicked on the thumbnail thinking that it's a clickbait, but it's not. You only need 500 pesos to invest in MP2. So if you're interested, please do stick around while I discuss the what, where, when, why, and how to invest in MP2. Let's go. I'm so excited to discuss about the topic today. I've been wanting to talk about this on my first video, but I can't. You know, it's like when you're joining a new company or you're meeting a new friend, and so you can't really tell them about the nitty-gritty of your life. You have to introduce yourself. So I've just building up my YouTube channel until I get to this point. And I'm so thankful to my friend Juvie. If not for her, she's one of my co-congregation members, and if not for her, I wouldn't have found out about this best investment so far in our country. So for those of you who know me, probably wondering, she's a witness, why is she talking about investment? But there's this one scripture that's stuck in my head, and if you'd like to join me, let's read it. Proverbs 30:24-25. For things on earth are among the smallest, but they are instinctively wise. The ants are not strong creatures, yet they prepare their food in the summer. They prepare their food in the summer. So the same thing with us, we have to prepare in advance. And one thing that is guaranteed is by investing in HDMF, Modified PAG-IBIG Savings 2. And this is what I'm going to discuss today. So please do stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to share a link of the YouTuber who is going to share a free MP2 calculator. Okay? So what is MP2? So basically there are two types of savings with HDMF or Home Development Mutual Fund, which is our housing agency here in the Philippines. So the first one is the regular savings, wherein under Republic Act 9679, membership to the PAG-IBIG Fund is made mandatory to all SSS and GSIS covered employees, including uniform members of the AFP, BFP, BJMP, and all those military services, including or as well as those who are employed by foreign-based employers. So it's mandatory and it's monthly contribution. Now, MP2 on the other hand is voluntary. Repeat after me. Voluntary. So depending on you, depending on your preference, you can invest as many as you want. So it's designed as a savings program for those who want to earn more or get a higher dividend because they do have 7% rate, dividend rate, compared with any other institution. And this is in addition to their regular savings with PAG-IBIG. Now, who are those who are qualified to invest in MP2? Now, these are active members or pensioners or retirees who have at least a minimum of 24 monthly contributions. Now, where can you invest it? You can go to any of the branches of PAG-IBIG or HDMF. They're scattered all over the country. Or you can do it online. Or I'll share the link to their website below. Then you just fill out the form that they have and then provide all the necessary documents that they would need. So when is the best time to apply for MP2? I'd say today, now, January 2021 is the best time to invest. Why? Because of the dividend factor. Now, what is the dividend factor? Dividend factor is the proportion of the growth of your contribution. The earlier you deposit or save, the higher the dividend factor. Let's say you deposit now, January. So there's 12 months in a year. So January is the first month, so that's 12 months, the proportion of your growth monthly until the end of December. So that's 12 divided by 12, that's 1. So let's say February. I'm not good with math, so let me grab my calculator. So 11 divided by 12, that's 0.91%. So see, it decreases the nearest it is to the end of the year. So it's better to invest today, January 2021. So how to compute it? Let's get to the fun part. Join me. So as promised, I'm going to show you how to compute your MP2 investments. Although on the website of PAG-IBIG, they do have, they did share the computation for it. But this is for those who plan on investing with MP2 and it's going to be sporadic. So let's say for 2020, your first contribution is 500. And then you made another contribution of 500 on the 10th of October and the 20th of October, 2,500 because you had an extra. So total of 3,500 for the month of October. Now for November, you also have 3 contributions, 500, 1,000, 1,500 for a total of 3,000. And then for December, you had a bonus, so you have a total of 3,000 just for that month. So here's what you do. You add up the total contributions. So here's what you do. You have to multiply it with the dividend factor for that month, and then multiply it with the dividend rate. And then multiply it with the dividend rate. By the way, the dividend rate is the one that is published or provided by PAG-IBIG or HDMF every year based on their previous year's performance. So I'm just saying that perhaps this is just an assumption that it's going to be 6.5%. Okay, so 0.065. So you multiply this. So you multiply this. So you get 56 pesos and 87 cents. Now you do the same thing with this, 3,000. So it's 33.15. And then for this one is 15.6. Remember this dividend factor is the proportion of the growth of your investment on the monthly basis. So again, since this is October, so October, November, December. So proportion of growth is just 3 divided by 12. That's just 0.25. Okay, you can do it yourself, or like I mentioned, if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll share the link to the YouTuber who's got a free MP2 calculator. And then you add it up. You also add up the total contributions that you have. So this is the total accumulated value at the end of 2020. Now, here's the interesting part, and here's what I really love. Because on the next year, you carry over of the previous year and add it to the first month of the next year or the current year, whichever. So January 1st, 9,605.62 is carried over. And let's say for the month of January, you also have 500 pesos contribution or investment. So you add it up, that's 10,105.62. So let's say on March 10, you have 1,500, June 10, you have 1,000, October, you have 1,000, December, you have 2,000. So again, you multiply it with the dividend factor. So since it is January, it's 1. It's not 0.83, it's not 0.25, it is 1. This is 0. Okay, let's compute it. So multiply it with the dividend factor and then with the dividend rate. So that is your total dividend for January. So let's just carry it over. Already that good with Excel as well. Multiply it, 38. 16. Then add it up. 826 just for the dividend. And you also add this up, that's 15,000 for a total of 16,432.44. That's for the second year. And the same thing that we did for 2021, you can do it for 2022. Carry over. How much is this? 16,432.44. 16,432.44. Let's say for January, you have 1,000, 500, 1,000. I'm just coming up with numbers. Again, these are all assumptions. You can do it yourself. Say 3,000. Oops, what did I do? So 16,432.44. What am I talking about? 42.44. This is 500, 1,000, 1,500, 1,500, 1,000, and 3,000. So just add it up. And then you go through the same thing that you've done. By 20. Go through the same process for each month. Sorry. Okay. Last month. Add it up. So that's 17,577.34 for a total of 43,509.78. Let's see. Sum of 13 and B. Ether. Okay, so that's 43,509.78. And then again, you carry it over to the next year. And that is why And then you carry this over again to the next year. So 43, 509.78. So no other contribution other than in June, 500,000. So that's all up. Oops. So that's 47,009. Okay, go through the same thing, multiply it with the dividend factor and the dividend rate. So as you can see, it's quite huge for the first month of the year. So that's why I'm telling you the best time to invest is today. Now, January 2021, if you haven't done so. And yes, you can just begin or start with 500 pesos. Oh, what did I do? With the dividend factor, dividend rate, multiply amount with the dividend factor and dividend rate. So the total for it up. That's 5258.26. And then the fun part. I really love this part. Really love the compounding part of the investment. So 5758.26. So if I make a mistake, please do comment down below and correct me. Like I'm saying, I'm not really good with math. That's why I'm using Excel. Makes it easier for me. And assuming it's always going to be the minimum of 500. It can't be below that. And by the way, you can deposit it using the online system with PAG-IBIG, and you can deposit it online through the website of PAG-IBIG, or you can deposit through GCash, or you can deposit through GCash or any of their accredited money transfer services. 2,000. Add it all up. We go through the same thing. Multiply it by the dividend factor. And the dividend rate. So as you can see, as the months progress, or the nearest you are to the end of the year, the smallest the dividend factor is, because that's the proportion of the growth of your contribution. That's why it's best to invest in January. Add it up for one. So that is a total of 65,942.005. So that's the total accumulated value at the end of 2024. So that's how much you have, or that's how much you are going to get by the end of 5 years. Now you'd say, well, I can get this with banks. No, traditional banks they have a low interest rate. Even if you go to the high yield interest rate banks such as ING or CIMB, it's even lower than this. So I suggest that if you want to gain more, earn more, then go with MP2. Thank you so much for staying until the end of this video. Like I promised, I'm going to share the card to the OFW Power YouTuber. He's so good with this. And I'll share the link to his channel. And I'll share the link to his channel on the description box below. But don't worry, like I said, I'm going to share the card here or here. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you in my next video.